mynews.studio.
Fish stocks in China's Yangtze River have doubled in just 5 years. Can a fishing ban really undo decades of ecological damage?
Today is February 28, 2026. Let's start with the numbers. The Yangtze River, third longest in the world, has been under a 10-year commercial fishing ban since 2021. According to a recent science study, fish biomass has more than doubled, and species richness is up by 13%. Did ecologists see this coming?
Not really, at least not at this scale. Overfishing had pushed several native species close to extinction. The speed of recovery surprised many. What's especially significant is that some of the most threatened species are starting to reappear. So we're not just talking about more fish. There's also a rise in biodiversity, which is a lot tougher to achieve.
But what about the people who depended on fishing? The reports mention the government invested between $2.7 and $3 billion to resettle over 230,000 fishers and recall more than 100,000 vessels. That's a huge undertaking. How did they actually manage that?
It wasn't just a one-off payout. Yes, there were compensation packages, but they also put in place job training and placement programs. Some former fishers moved into aquaculture, others went into tourism or agriculture, depending on the region. There were also welfare programs to soften the economic blow. The government drew on concepts from evolutionary game theory.
Wait, game theory? As in, using models to predict how people would respond to different incentives?
Exactly. The idea was to balance ecological goals with local economic needs, so they tried to design support systems that would actually work in practice, not just on paper.
Has that approach worked so far? Are these communities finding stability?
So far, the signs are good. Unemployment rates haven't gone up, and economic integration is ongoing. But honestly, it's still early. The real test is whether these new jobs will last over time. Continued monitoring will be important, especially since river ecosystems keep changing.
Enforcement must be a huge challenge. The Yangtze is massive. How did they actually stop illegal fishing?
The 2021 Yangtze River Protection Law was a major piece. They used river police, patrol boats, and strict penalties. If someone broke the ban, their vessel could be impounded. There wasn't much use of drones or AI. This was mostly about people on the water, monitoring directly.
Do you think this model could be applied to other large rivers like the Amazon or the Mekong? They face similar pressures.
It's possible, but the local context matters a lot. The Yangtze case shows that a large, well-funded, and enforced ban can work. But success depends on political will and the ability to support local communities. Other rivers might need different adjustments, especially where funding or governance is weaker.
Are there still major threats to the Yangtze? I mean, recovery is underway, but what could stall or reverse it?
Several risks remain. Illegal fishing is still a concern, but industrial pollution and hydropower dams are also big issues. Dams block migratory routes for fish like sturgeon. The protection law is pushing for better wastewater treatment, less agricultural runoff, and some restoration of riverbanks. But ongoing enforcement and coordination are key. There's even talk of extending monitoring past 2030, since recovery is an ongoing process.
So, the Yangtze could be a kind of test case for other river systems. But is there a risk that success here makes people think the job is done elsewhere?
That's definitely a risk. The main takeaway isn't that every river will bounce back this quickly. It's that large-scale restoration is possible when there's enough commitment. It's more of a template than a solution you can just copy everywhere.
So, the Yangtze's recovery challenges the idea that heavily industrialized regions are beyond repair. But it also shows that ecological restoration has to go hand in hand with social support.
Right. Conservation is about more than fish. It's about people, local economies, and making sure changes last.
Today we looked at how a bold fishing ban in the Yangtze led to a doubling in fish stocks and a measurable rise in biodiversity, while also tackling the social and economic challenges for local communities.
We covered enforcement, ongoing risks, and why this case matters for river restoration around the world.
Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it free today.